Yeah, that's
Um,
the hope. That's the goal.
yeah. So what do you consider like? So we're like talking about some product knowledge, right? So what do you consider the most important factor when formulating CBD products for like neurological conditions, like purity, dosage, delivery method? What do
Yeah,
you? Yeah, go for it.
I think the most important thing, first and foremost, is to make sure that you're testing for contaminants in the product and impurities. So, as a lot of people who have epilepsy or who have children that have epilepsy, they'll learn pretty quick that that condition is very sensitive, and any change in their routine can actually increase seizure activity. It can cause problems. So, I mean, down to the details, it's of the utmost important to make sure that there's no toxicity in the product, no contaminants, no pesticides, no trace amount of anything.
Wow.
Just because you can have a great product, or you can even have a high quality CBD, but if the product has contaminants in it, you're gonna negate the positive benefit of it, because even just a little trace amount of a heavy metal can be detrimental to somebody who already has a pre-existing neurological condition.
Wow.
That's number one. Number two is making sure that the amount of CBD that is on the label is the amount of CBD that is in the actual bottle.
Yeah.
And that is something else that we test for rigorously. So on our bottles, there's 2,250 milligrams of CBD per bottle, and the test results will confirm that. So each serving, each serving at 1 milliliter will have 75 milligrams of CBD, and that
Mhm.
will show on the test results. And that's another thing that's very important, because you want to make sure the amount of CBD that you're administering is accurate, so that you can, you know, just stay on top of everything, make sure it's all consistent. Because, like I
Yeah.
was saying before, any change in routine can be detrimental. So if you're taking, you know, a serving every day,
Hmm.
and then the next bottle you get has a different concentration, and you're still
Yeah.
taking what you think is the same serving, but you're getting a different amount, well, now you might run into problems. So just having that consistency, the consistency of quality, is of the
Yeah.
utmost importance.
Yeah. And I love that you put that time, energy, and effort into ensuring that any of your customers or patients, people that you work with, and being in regulation, we're talking about you understand at an empathetic level what people are dealing with because you deal with it firsthand. And your product knowledge around this is comprehensive because you're being very thorough about this. I love how you're going about this, Bryce. And that is super important to people who aren't 100% sure about this, but you going into the market and making it known that it is safe if you do the right steps. So you might
Absolutely.
be even inspiring other people to want to come alongside and maybe do something of this. You never know who you're inspiring. So thank you for that. Um, you talked a little bit about the thoroughness of this. Then we want to launch this. We're talking about marketing and education, right? We want to
Hmm.
get this out there. Like, how would you educate potential customers about CBD's benefits for epilepsy while navigating skepticism or misinformation?
So really, one of my big goals with this company is to have
Mhm.
my website be a brilliant resource for people to be able to go and refer to, and find educational resources about CBD and about epilepsy and about whatever neurological conditions people may be suffering from. Um, so that being said, I'm partnering up with nonprofits, people who deal with this type of work, and I'll be putting their resources on my website for people to go and look at. So that'll include, scientific studies about CBD and how it can benefit people with epilepsy, people with seizures, people with Alzheimer's, people with dementia. I mean, you name it. There's numerous conditions that see a benefit from applying CBD into a routine.
Mhm.
And like I was saying before, and I'll hit on this point again. I'm not a scientist, and I don't want to be. Um, that's not my place. So I'm
Right.
gonna I'm gonna let actual professionals who are very educated on the topic, do that on behalf of my company, and that was my goal, is to work with healthcare professionals and work with people who have been doing nonprofit work for epileptics,
Yeah,
and let them do their part.
I love that. Man, you really I love the partnership and collaboration is key. So you thought even having that in place. I know we've been talking about that, so I'm excited to see how that when that goes as far as spreading this amazing gospel about Epi-Canna. So some people, Bryce, are hesitant still about CBD due to stigma or lack of research. So how would you address their concerns professionally, relatability? Like, how would you address that?
Yeah, I think first and foremost, I would try to differentiate um, CBD and marijuana,
Mm,
and get people to understand that they are not the same thing. So, because I think in large, that is still the biggest stigma around CBD for the majority of people,
mhm.
is that, they hear CBD and they just automatically think, oh, this is a drug. This is what people use to get high or get stoned, and
Yeah.
abuse it recreationally, right? Not used as a medicine. Um, and like I said before, um, I want to make resources available to people, to be able to go and do their own research and use my website, as a resource for their own research.
Yeah.
And that'll be a point that I hit on, that CBD is not marijuana. It's not it's not intoxicating. It's not a drug. It's a natural therapeutic plant medicine,
Yeah. That's big. Yeah, it is more than just what people see it as. And
right?
it's sad to say that that has happened, but I'm glad you are here really correcting that narrative, which is important. So Bryce, do you have experience working with doctors or neurologists? Like, how would you approach partnerships with medical professionals?
Yeah, so I have a lot of experience in dealing with doctors and neurologists, because my daughter has epilepsy. So we're always communicating with her care team, with her
Mhm.
neurologist, with her primary care physician. We're always in contact with them and what we're doing for her care, for her care plan. And I
Okay.
would recommend everybody do the same. Of course, everybody watching this who has a loved one that suffers from epilepsy, they will have a doctor and a neurologist that they see probably on a regular basis.
Mhm.
And I would highly recommend that they bring it up to their doctor and be open. This isn't something you should go about, trying to administer on your own. Um, I would highly advise that you work with knowledgeable professionals to help set up a plan to add CBD into a routine.
Wow.
And it can be difficult, because there are a lot of doctors out there who will tiptoe around the subject. And
Hmm.
I've gone through that. Talking to my daughter's doctors and neurologists. But there are people out there who are willing to talk about it. And like I said, there are nonprofit organizations who have healthcare professionals that are more open in talking about CBD and its potential benefits, when used as a medicine.
Yeah.
But
Man,
I think it's of paramount importance to always be in communication with your care providers.
thank you for sharing that because maybe a lot of people don't know that they can, or they may have just started, child or loved ones, they may have just started these neurological disorders like epilepsy or other things associated. One of my other questions, as far as in like how you handle problems as you're expanding and scaling this business. So like if a customer's report that your product wasn't effective for the seizures, how would you handle that situation?
Well, first off, I would empathize with them, because I've gone through that. Like I was saying earlier, my daughter suffers from drug resistant epilepsy, which means the first handful of pharmaceutical drugs that she was taking didn't see her condition improve at all. Even though you think, hey, this is a medicine that's prescribed to me from my neurologist,
Mhm.
this should help me, you know, and we implemented it, took it 2 times a day, every day for weeks, and saw absolutely zero improvement. And unfortunately, that is the brutal reality of epilepsy for many people. Not everything is guaranteed to work. It's all in large still a mysterious condition. What works for one person isn't guaranteed to work for another. And I hope that CBD helps absolutely everybody that it can, but it's not a guarantee. Everybody's different. Everybody's brain is going to respond to different treatments. So, you know, I've been there. We've dealt with my daughter failing multiple different treatments. It just so happened that CBD helped her out, and that's what I want to share with others.
Wow, Bryce, thank you for stating that in this space for others to see because it is scary. You know, I have grown up with loved ones with neurological disorders um, that are severe and alter our lives. So, me growing up with that to see that you are even helping me get a better understanding about all of this. So thank you for sharing that. My last question, Bryce, as far as in your growth and innovation ideas and plans, like where do you see the future of CBD in treating neurological conditions? Like how can your company stay ahead in research and product development?
So when I started this company, one of my goals was always to take a portion of profits and donate it into epilepsy research. And even further than that, um, to push scientific backed studies for CBD. And legislation's made that hard for a long time. It's made it hard for people to do, you know, legit scientific trials for CBD just because of all the gray area that was around it. People are scared to touch it, you know. They could be looking at lawsuits, they could be looking at jail time, who knows. It's all a gray area. Um, but one of my goals with this company was always to put money back into places where it was going to benefit people like my daughter,
Yeah.
not just to financially gain from selling a product, but to put money back into um, systems that are going to benefit children like my daughter. You know, that's far more important to me than um, any monetary gain.
Your heart is in the right place, Bryce. I mean, this company, even though in its inception stage, you have me being with you at the beginning of this. I see this thing going so far, so wide, so big as far as the impacting so many lives. I can even say boldly a road to a million families over the next, lifetime, to impact people. So I'm glad to be a part of this, Bryce. Thank you for um even allow me to share this insight, give this interview to really open up the door perspectives, the ideals that you have. Like you're in it for the right reasons. So I want to thank you. Everybody who enjoyed this interview, please share this with your loved ones to get a better understanding of Epi-Canna before you decide to purchase. You can purchase in a link. If you're even if you are just a stakeholder that wants to be more in the line, you can get the merchandise just to say that you are a part of the Epicana movement, that you are one of the warriors, that we can all together turn pain into perfect purpose, one family at a time. So thank you, Bryce. Any last words before we wrap up?
Yeah, and even if you're not interested in purchasing the product, I still recommend people go and check out my website just because there's going to be a whole lot of educational content on there that I think will benefit people, even if CBD isn't what they want to do. I think that they'll still benefit from the resources on that page. So
That's big. Yeah, and you'll find the website in the link below in all social medias. Thank you all so much, and we see you next time.
thank you.